In the ancient city of Jericho, along a dusty road where merchants, travelers, and villagers passed every day, there sat a man who had known nothing but darkness for most of his life. His name was Bartimaeus. Bartimaeus was blind. Every morning he would find his way to the roadside with the help of a stick. Carefully feeling the ground beneath him, he would sit in the same place, hoping that the kindness of strangers would provide him with enough coins to survive another day. For Bartimaeus, life was filled with struggle. He could not work like other men. He could not see the faces of the people speaking to him. He could not see the beauty of the sunrise or the colors of the world around him. All he knew was darkness. People in the city recognized him as the blind beggar by the road. Some would drop a coin into his hand out of pity. Others ignored him completely, passing by as if he didn't exist. But Bartimaeus had heard stories about a man named Jesus of Nazareth. Travelers passing through Jericho often spoke about him. They said this man healed the sick. They said the lame could walk again. They said demons fled at his command. And some even claimed that blind eyes had been opened by his power. Every time Bartimaeus heard these stories, a small flame of hope burned inside his heart. Could this man really change his life? Could Jesus give sight to someone who had never seen the world? One ordinary day, as Bartimaeus sat by the roadside begging, something unusual began to happen. He heard a large crowd approaching. There were many footsteps. Voices filled the air. People were talking excitedly. Bartimaeus turned his head toward the noise and asked someone nearby, "What is happening? Why is there such a crowd?" Someone replied, "Jesus of Nazareth is passing by." The moment Bartimaeus heard the name Jesus, his heart began to beat faster. This was the man he had heard so much about. This was the miracle worker. This was the one who healed the sick. Without hesitation, Bartimaeus began to shout with all the strength he had, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me!" His voice echoed through the crowd. Some people stopped and looked at him with annoyance. Others tried to silence him. "Be quiet," they told him sharply. "Don't disturb the teacher." But Bartimaeus refused to be silent. For years he had lived in darkness. For years he had depended on the mercy of strangers. This moment could be his only chance, so he cried out even louder, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me!" The crowd grew irritated. Many rebuked him and ordered him to stop shouting. But Bartimaeus did not care what they thought. He shouted again and again, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me!" Then suddenly something incredible happened. Jesus stopped walking. In the middle of the crowd, surrounded by many people, Jesus paused. He had heard the desperate cry of a man who refused to give up. Jesus turned to the people around him and said something unexpected. "Call him." The same people who had been trying to silence Bartimaeus now changed their attitude. They turned toward the blind man and said, "Take courage! Get up! He is calling for you!" Bartimaeus' heart filled with excitement. Jesus was calling him. Immediately, Bartimaeus threw aside his cloak, jumped to his feet, and made his way toward Jesus. People guided him through the crowd until he finally stood face to face with the man he had only heard about. Jesus looked at him with compassion. Then Jesus asked a question. "What do you want me to do for you?" It seemed like a simple question, but it was deeply powerful. Bartimaeus did not hesitate. With faith in his voice, he answered, "Rabbi, I want to see." For years he had dreamed of this moment. To see the sky, to see the people around him, to see the world, and most of all, to see the man standing in front of him. Jesus spoke words that would change Bartimaeus' life forever. "Go," Jesus said. "Your faith has healed you." Instantly, something miraculous happened. Light flooded Bartimaeus' eyes. Shapes began to appear. Colors he had never seen before filled his vision. For the first time in his life, Bartimaeus could see. The crowd gasped in amazement. The blind beggar who once sat in darkness was now looking around with wonder. And the first face he saw was the face of Jesus. Joy filled his heart. Tears ran down his face. The miracle was real. The man who had begged on the roadside was now healed. The crowd began praising God for the incredible miracle they had witnessed. But the story did not end there. Bartimaeus did not return to his old life. Instead, he made a decision that changed his future. The Bible tells us that Bartimaeus followed Jesus along the road. The man who once sat helpless in darkness was now walking in the light, following the one who had given him sight.